Okay, well, hey neighbors, welcome to the Shed Shop. In this edition of My Uncle Might Die, so I don't know what the fuck else to do but tinker. This edition of How To, and maybe this edition of Warranties Honored. We'll see how far we go. I have the HUSQVARNA 240 giveaway saw that Ted Notza won on my bench. We went live a little while ago, but I just got off the phone with my uncle's triage nurse, Connie, or a critical care nurse, Connie. And when I left today, it's because the doctor assured me my uncle's fine, and he just needs to be in the hospital a day or two. And that's not what I was just told. His body is septic from an infection, and he's in AFib, tachycardia, which means he has a severely irregular heartbeat. I watched it go from 100 to 180, back down to 100, 140, 180, 190. And I'm kind of beating myself up a little bit because I didn't make my uncle go to the hospital when I knew something wasn't right. He doesn't have insurance, neighbors. I was just going to put a credit card, a doctor's visit on a credit card today, his day off, Tuesday and Wednesday. And he made me a promise he'd let me take him to the doctor on Tuesday. And last night I was so goddamn fucking tired from working nonstop out here, trying to keep my business from sinking and fix our moldy, dilapidated, falling apart trailer and our shitty pump house and well and everything else. And I told him, we'll go in the morning, Uncle. I'm too tired to drive. I don't want to crash. And I got to give it to my uncle for being a fucking trooper. He's been like this for a week and he's been going to work. And this fucking scammer piece of shit, I have my uncle's phone. He gave me the passcode, and I've been reading the conversation he's been having with this scumbag human being claiming to be Dolly Parton. And my uncle believes it and has believed it for over a decade. Tens of thousands of dollars, neighbor. And so we're going to take this 240 and we're going to change some fuel lines on it because they're really stiff. And we're going to try and just do the only thing we know how to do. I can't help him right now. I can't even go see him right now because he's in critical care and they have very specific hours you're allowed to see patients. And so, neighbors, if you're new, welcome to the Shed Shop. I don't hide shit. I don't give a fuck what you say about me crying. It takes a real man to cry. I don't give a fuck about all you assholes that don't know me and don't know the channel saying I'm on drugs and on meth and everything else, and you don't know my fucking story and that I'm almost 3 years sober. So, neighbors, we're going to start the video before I turn you down to the bench, goddammit, and say, be kind to one another. Everyone's facing a fucking battle. And unless you're willing to love your neighbor enough to take the time and ask, shut your fucking mouth and go about your own goddamn life. We're all shitty fucking human beings. Life is hard, and that's why we're all shitty. Ain't no reason we can't be nice to each other and help each other out. Stop all the goddamn hate. Okay? And love thy fucking neighbor. Let's get to work, goddammit. Here's our creepy little saw with one of the worst designs I've ever seen in a chainsaw in my life. In the live stream, we took our carburetor off to rebuild it and found out somebody at some point has put a China carburetor on this saw, which leads me to believe if somebody replaced the carburetor, this saw obviously had an issue. I have not vacuum pressured either of our two little saws here, but we're going to start, I think, actually by vacuum pressure testing this saw before we waste our time changing all the fuel lines and everything, because it will be a lot easier. We don't want to go through all that work to find out we have an air leak. Our other saw has brand new bearings and seals and a China top end and is not running right. However, it has an issue with its tank vent. And so I haven't vacuum pressure tested that saw either. I am going to cut the fuel line because it's so stiff and we're not reusing it. Just to make it easy right now. Where was I, neighbors? Yeah, all you assholes that say I'm on drugs, you want to say I'm on drugs because I'm sniffling too. That's what happens when you cry, assholes. That's also what happens when the temperatures change so drastically. 90 degrees during the day and 25 at night. It makes people sick. these crankshaft seals and bearings are one unit, and I do not have a service manual on this saw, nor was I able to find one. But I have concern that the spring on the crankshaft seal, when I installed them on Ted's original winning saw, the other 240 over here on the parts washer, right there, neighbors, is it? Okay, right there. Okay. I have concern one of the springs that holds the crankshaft seal tight popped out when I installed it, and I have been wanting to vacuum pressure test that saw, but this has an OEM top end. It doesn't look scored or anything. It has a little bit of carbon black at the top and a little bit of wear, but I wouldn't think any that's enough to cause the problems the saw is having. And so I want to just go ahead and vacuum pressure test it, and if it passes, we're going to change the fuel lines, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, I don't know how long the video will go, neighbors. You don't have to stay. At this point, I don't give a shit. This is just the only way I know how to help my uncle, is to tinker and stay off of fucking drugs in case he does make it. Because if he does make it and I'm back on drugs, that ain't gonna do him no fucking good. I called my daddy and let him know. In my family, we know my uncle. He's just an exaggerator. I love him. He's got a sweet heart, but he's an exaggerator, and he'll do anything for attention, even fake illness. But neighbors, you can't fake tachycardia. You can't fake sepsis. You can't fake when they do a quick blood test where they squirt the shit on a little test kit and they put it in to check for gases and everything else in your system, and the male nurse says, holy shit, that can't be right. That's how sick my uncle is. They said that can't be right, to the levels of infection in his body. And so, neighbors, let's love our goddamn uncle by staying sober and tinkering, okay? First thing we're going to do is take our T27 and we're going to get our muffler out of the way here to get a slide behind it. Or we'll do an actual proper, we might have to cut a damn piece, because we have to block off anywhere air can escape from the motor. Yes, I think it probably will be easiest to do a slide on this one. The only challenge is, let's see, no, we're okay there. Yes, I think a slide will work. So we'll remove our cooling plate and just use our muffler, okay? I think, let's see, no, we are going to be required to have our cooling plate on this one, it looks like. That will be okay, though. Okay, so we'll put our cooling plate on. And then that should, we'll get our bolts started, and then we'll push that slide down as far as we can, okay? This is a freaky little saw. I don't particularly like this design, but it is what it is, okay, neighbors? I'm just trying to stay sober for my uncle. I'm trying to trust that he's going to be just fine, right? He's going to be just fine. That's why this is the best fucking YouTube channel you're ever going to come across. I don't hide shit from you, neighbors. I pay attention to you, and I try my best to love you and understand you guys with your flaws, because trust me, there's several of my subscribers right now. You have done things that I want to desperately call out publicly, but I don't. If any of you are super shitty, yeah, I'll call you out, but nobody's done anything super shitty just yet to me or my uncle or my other subscribers. We've had some assholes in some of the more popular videos bring hate, but just a couple. Okay, here we go. Just want to get this started. That can often be the hardest part when you don't have all the specialty tools you need for this particular brand. I don't even have them all for steels. Okay, let's see here. Okay, got that one started. Got that one started. Now we'll push this line as far as we can and kind of hold it in place so as our screws turn, it doesn't pull the rubber anywhere. And we want to tie and tighten it nice and even. And we really just need a snug up here. We don't need anything super tight, just to seal it. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to try and block off the carburetor, which realistically I got to go through most of the work to get it off anyways. There really isn't an easy way on this one. I'm trying to think if we have an easy way, but I don't know that I see one. Okay, so let's just go ahead and move some of this stuff out of our way real quick, because we just really need to get a slide behind the carburetor. I believe the impulse is part of the carburetor, not a separate hose. And so if we can just loosen our 8mm nuts back here and our T25 screw, I think it is, we can most likely get it loose enough just to slide a slide behind the carburetor like we just did with the muffler. Okay, and then we'll go from there. So let's see if we're going to be able to do that. And it looks like a T20. I just did this a couple hours ago and I already forgot the damn sizes. No, see, because I got to get to my muffler bolts, which means I do have to remove the entire handle. So we'll just go ahead and do that and get it out of our way. And unfortunately, whoever, I know I got a flathead for the drill here. Whoever worked on this saw before has stripped out the bolts. And so I kind of am wondering what they have done to the saw. I don't see my flathead bit. So I'll just use a screwdriver for sake of time. Screw it. I might be able to get a T25 on there though. Make it a little bit easier if it'll fit. I think we might be able to get them with the T25. I used a flathead earlier because they are really, the heads are messed up on these screws. Okay, that's our handle. We got to flip it over and we're going to have two on the bottom, one here. And then we got one up front here. Okay. And then the next thing we need to do is, I didn't see a way, I keep forgetting this part every time. We've got to take these T25s out of our handle. Okay. Back here. This is the easiest way for me. There might be a different way to do this, but this saw is designed really weird. And so I have found this to be the easiest way to do this little bit of extra work now, instead of fighting everything and struggling with it. Because as you saw, that didn't take very long to get that handle off. Excuse me. Okay, now we need an 8mm. To get our, oh, I'm sorry, I lied. Did you dirty neighbors? We need a T20 to get this little screw out here. What can you guys see? Okay, you guys can see fine. To get this screw out here for this little plate here. Okay. Remove that from our trigger. Now we can release our T20 here. This is a very long bolt. And then switch over to an 8mm. I'm really worried about my uncle, you guys. He's a shithead, but I love him, and he's all I got. Here in Tennessee. He's all I really feel like I got for family. Even though I was just reading his messages between him and his scammer. And he's talking dirty about me. I don't know why he's doing it. Because like the rest of us, he's desperate for love. All of us are desperate for love, and if you can't admit it, that's your damn problem. I don't have time for people that can't be honest with themselves and reality, honestly, anymore. Got too much shit going on in my own life. Okay, I want to see if there is an easier way to do this. I'm wondering if one of my specialty flanges from steel might actually fit. I don't think so, but the other thing we can do is, let's see, because we've got an impulse and two ports to plug up. Let's see if the slide will work. It might. Challenge is, might means that if there is an air leak and I can't get bubbles to present right here. I do feel like that's doing a good job sealing everything though. Okay, so I'm going to leave that shroud off out of our way. I'll put our two 8mm back on and snug them up. And then we'll remove our spark plug and take our specialty tool from Echo and do our vacuum and pressure through our spark plug port. Just one ugga dugga, right, Greasy Shop Rag? Haven't seen you comment on any of my videos in a while. I forget to comment on yours sometimes because I watch them while I'm laying in bed and I don't feel like typing, so I lied to you. It's not that I forget. It just hurts my neck. A lot of the times I'll just lay there and listen to Greasy Shop Rag, honestly, narrate his videos. because he does a lot of diagnostic stuff and a lot of the common stuff on two strokes. And so he's got one of those voices that is just kind of calming in a way when he narrates the work he's doing, because he takes the footage at work over the bench view, and then when he gets home in his editing, what he does is gives himself a little you can see him on the screen in a little bubble, so to speak, as he narrates and explains what he's doing and why he's doing it. And yeah, I kind of like him. Maybe one day I'll get to meet him. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll get to meet more of you subscribers. I already know at least a dozen of my subscribers or more I have met in person. But the desire is to meet more of you in person. It'd be amazing to go see Ted Neitzel, Adam Hayes, Rob Weaver, Sarah Weaver, Homesteader. I would say at 2.0, but he doesn't love me anymore because I am giving away a 266 and you have to be a member to be able to win it. So he didn't like that I said it hurt my feelings that all the people that say they support my channel don't apply for or don't pay for a $3.99 membership, or they don't tell me they can't afford it so that I can find somebody either to sponsor their membership or me to sponsor their membership myself. I'm going to go ahead and attempt a vacuum first. Yeah, definitely a leak. So we're going to have to switch the pressure, get our soapy water, and see what we have presenting leak. We'll check our connections and see, is it human error? Hopefully, that's usually where I like to start. I need to get more soapy water. Pause you, neighbors. Here's our soapy water, just on dish open water, so that as we blow air into the system, we can attempt to locate where is it leaking. Don't see nothing yet. So what I'm going to do is check the tightness of my muffler bolts here by hand. They are a little bit loose, but I would think we would have created a seal with the tension I have. Yeah, that might have been it. I don't know what HUSQVARNA calls for on this saw. I usually go somewhere between 5 and 7.5 pounds on pretty much any saw. So I'm at 6 right now, and we expect that to hold for a little while. I think it doesn't appear to be moving. So we're going to wait 5 minutes, and I'm going to go do the other thing instead of drugs. I'm going to go smoke a fucking cigarette, even though I just quit for a year and just started back up a few weeks ago, because my business is sinking and my pain is so overwhelming that I decided to smoke as a coping mechanism. Takes me about 5 to 7 minutes to smoke a cigarette. We're still at 6 pounds. I'm fairly confident. I'm going to check vacuum one more time now that we tighten those bolts, but I'm fairly confident. Yeah, it can't hold vacuum, guys. Oh, there we go. I'm just watching the gauge, neighbors. I don't care if you leave. I'm just trying to stay sober for my uncle. It's cold in the shed shop and my heater isn't turning on. I don't know why. Yeah, we're holding. I'm fairly confident we don't have an air leak. So, you saw how I removed the handle and carburetor and everything. And so now all we're going to do is get it the rest of the way out of the way. Okay? And then we are going to go ahead and change these fuel lines and see if the saw wants to be nice to us and stop being an asshole, so that we can give Ted his free giveaway saw. And then Ted can pay us $100 trillion million billion $1,000 on his beautiful HUSQVARNA 61 that he's getting as is. I feel I gave you a good deal, Ted. I hope you feel that way too. I feel I gave you a really good deal, because I'm really struggling to let that saw go that cheap. remove that, get it out of our way. I know this might not be the best video, but neighbors, this is real life. This is not just entertainment. This is real life. This is a guy that cares about you, cares about people, cares about his neighbors, okay? And started a YouTube for that reason. Let's go ahead and take our carburetor off now. I have rebuilt this carburetor. I'm thinking of checking it to make sure I put the right kit on it, but we'll start with our fuel lines because I'm fairly confident. I had to wait for this carb kit because I didn't have it in stock, and so I'm fairly confident I have the right one on here. Okay, so here is your fuel line. I've emptied the tank. It's really stiff. Okay, this return line is fine, it seems. And this return line seems okay too. It is just the actual fuel line delivery itself is really stiff inside the tank. I mean, that's just really stiff, you guys. I'm pushing on that hard, and you can see the side that's not stiff, a lot faster response. This one, I have to push it really hard, and look how slow it goes back. So let's go ahead and grab us a new piece of fuel line from our stash down here. Make sure we get the right size here. Okay, this one's too wide. I believe it's going to be this one. Let's see, right here. That looks about right. So we'll get a piece about the same length and give ourselves a little extra just in case. Okay. So I'm going to go like 2 inches, one and a half, 2 inches extra. Okay. Go ahead and, whoops. Yes, I'm very distracted. I'm very worried about my uncle. Very worried. Okay, go ahead and snip that off. And then, you can use spit, but I have press oil. So I try not to spit on my neighbor's saws. I'm also very exhausted, to be honest, guys. Okay. Oh, we got to slant the end. It will make it easier to get it started into the grommet, going into the fuel tank. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little bit of this press oil on it to help assist it. Okay. And this stuff completely dries and leaves no trace of itself, essentially. It's called press oil. I buy it directly from Steel. Okay. This grommet might need replaced too. And that fuel line went in awfully easy. And I have seen the grommets cause issues on this little bitty saw because I did some research on this saw before I started working on the other one because I'm not familiar with it. Okay, that needs to go up over here. It reaches. Yeah, that grommet I think might need replaced. And I don't know if I have one. To be honest, I don't think I do. I have lots of different grommets, but I don't know that I have that particular one. So we'll try this. It doesn't take too long to take this saw down. So we'll try it. I gotta get the slide out of our muffler here. Pull that out. We'll retighten our muffler down. Got 3 ugga-duggas. Right, greasy shop rag. Okay. Let's dry some of our water up. Okay, put our spark plug back in. It doesn't look terrible. I did inspect this motor. I haven't looked at the spark plug port, but everything on this motor looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but I don't see anything. Yeah, there's still cross hatches in the cylinder plating. I don't see anything in the motor that would cause this saw to do this unless the ring is just like completely worn down. But our other saw is basically doing the same thing as this one. And so it could be the carburetor, but I just don't know that it is. We haven't pressure tested it. I'm going to pressure test it through the line because it's easier. Actually, you know what? I think I made a setup that I can plug. That's a lot smaller thing on that there, but it's probably in the other building. It looks like it is. It's not in my kit here. Not in my kit. I have a setup that hooks directly to the carburetor similar to this, but better. Okay, so we'll just do this real quick. Okay, and then that attachment can hook to our Mighty Vac. So let's unplug this fuel line again. And let's give our carburetor a pressure test real quick. Just to be sure, we want to eliminate things that could be the problem. And as we eliminate things that could be the problem, it gets us closer to finding the problem. So switch the pressure here. Goes 6 pounds. Yeah, it's holding. Yeah, not moving at all. So I think our carburetor is not leaking air. I don't think that would be the issue. Okay. So put that back away. Put this away. Get this shit out of my way. Leaving it wide open because I don't want to pause you guys, and I don't particularly love editing videos. It really is complicated for me and takes an exponential amount of time. And then people get mad at me because I say, will you please pay $3.99 a month to help the channel survive? And people leave the channel because of that. And they don't understand that actually hurts my feelings at 2.0. It broke my heart, neighbor. You're the only one that publicly unsubscribed. Everybody else was at least fucking decent enough to send me an email saying I'm not going to be part of your channel anymore because you're giving away my saw to members only. And they didn't think that was fair, but it wasn't my saw to give away. It was a subscriber saw, Adam Hayes, and his stipulation was that I'll give it away to members only because he wants my channel to be successful, I guess. I tried calling him tonight, and as usual, he didn't answer though, which kind of sucks. But oh well, 'tis what it is, right, neighbors? Okay, there we are. We'll go ahead. I'm just trying to make sure I've got it all connected because I'm so tired and distracted. Need to hook our wires back up here. Okay, and then this air filter housing, I suppose it's probably called, the shroud here goes back on. Okay, slides right on our bolts. Okay, we'll get our 2/8 mils back on. Like so, right here. I've got Mike's, neighbor Mike's 026 is back. You guys saw that saw cutting on the channel and everything. Saw some work on that saw. And apparently the saw never ran after he got it home. And it's been a long time since that saw's been here. And I really should not honor it as warranted work because he never brought it back. And it's been months. But he called me today after I got back from the hospital. And I had told him before if he felt I did him dirty to tell me. And he never responded. I mean, I get people's lives are busy, but when somebody sends you a 10-minute audio message, Mike, and you claim to be a Christian, and they're telling you their faith is struggling, and you never respond, that's kind of shitty. That's probably why I'm working on your saw for free this time. Even though I shouldn't, because it's not under any kind of warranty at this point. You should have brought it back a long time ago, neighbor. But I'm saying all this shit knowing this guy doesn't fucking waste his time watching my channel. Because I say, God damn it. It says you either believe in redemption or you don't. But yet, he doesn't believe in redemption, in my opinion. Okay, there's that. We need our throttle linkage. Okay, this end goes to our trigger. This end, it's very obvious, goes into our carburetor. And I did us dirty. See, guys, I'm distracted. So we're going to go backwards real quick. Because you have to have your carburetor back here to link this in, to hook it in, okay? So we'll hook it in like that, so it comes over to the center of the saw, okay? So you know you have it the right direction. Make sure our gasket lined up and everything. I feel like these gaskets kind of slide down, so that's why I just held that up like that. Okay, put our shroud back on. Come here. Come here, shroud. Don't want to let go of this carburetor. I want to keep tension on it against the intake gasket. Okay. Excuse me, choke lever, you're in the way, neighbor. My Seventh-day Adventist neighbor, Johanna, would say that I'm the devil because I talk to inanimate objects, and that's not normal, and it's creepy, and it's a bad witness for Jesus. Well, neighbor, being a Pharisee, thinking you can earn your way into heaven when you read the same fucking Bible as I do, telling you right now, you're wrong, goddammit. Most Christians don't believe that Jesus will harden your heart for the greater good, but he does. They don't think he will harden the hearts of those who don't want their hearts hardened. But when you tell Jesus, fuck it, you can destroy me, if it means one human being on this earth will feel the love that I so desperately want to feel and so desperately want to be real, you can ruin my life. You can do whatever you want with it. You can make me miserable. Most days I regret saying that. Most days. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this back together here. You've got one of the longer screws on the spring. The spring slides through a slot. Okay, you've got to hook your spring in your AV spring. And then we'll go ahead, get our T25 again and tighten that up. It's just kind of easier to put these screws in first before I put the trigger assembly back together, because it just sets in the right place. Okay, there's those two on the bottom. Ah, shit, see, I did myself dirty, neighbors. We gotta go backwards again. Sorry, did y'all dirty. I know there's not a whole ton of people watching this shit anyways, so I don't really care. Okay, so let's go backwards. We need to put first our little plate here. Okay, so we'll put that on. Okay, with our T20 screw. Trigger goes through the center here, obviously. Well, I'll say obviously, but maybe not. I've got it turned the wrong way. Okay, and the curved part goes to the side of the saw here, so it fits right. Okay, it slides in there. Potentially. Okay, there we are. Like so. And then you got this little T20 screw here. Okay. Let's get that tightened up all the way. Okay, there's that. Now we can go ahead and put our handle on, neighbors. Okay, we'll try again. Again, the spring slides through a little slot on the bottom, and then the screw goes through the spring itself. Get our T25 back. Earlier I thought these were completely stripped out. They're not. The T25 is working still, just barely though. That's why I know this saw has obviously been worked on before, because you can tell the screws have been removed before, and they have a cheap China carburetor on it. And not a Zama China carburetor. Zama says made in China right on it. A lot of things are made in China, but it's largely about I'm just hooking my throttle onto, or my trigger onto there, and then it slides on here, and then the spring goes behind that part right there. Okay, and so that way, let's see, did I get it right? Didn't get it right if it's not on there, obviously, but spring under that. Okay, let's see here. Sorry, neighbors. Okay, I know that's right. Get my pointer out of the way. Here, I gotta sit down. I'm worried about my uncle. I don't know what to do. I feel so fucking helpless. Kind of like when I'm laying in bed in miserable fucking pain. You know, my uncle feels helpless. I know a lot of days he just wishes he could do something. I gotta get away from the scammers. I gotta get him away from the scammers, you guys. If he pulls through, I've got to. Okay, where's my screw for there? Shit, neighbors, did I lose it? Did you guys see what I did with it, goddammit? I know it wasn't this one. Why'd I pull that one? That's to that. Chet. Chet, Chet, Chet. I've done something wrong here. This one goes on the bottom. That's why. Okay. I do believe it actually goes right here. That's correct. That's what I did wrong. You guys like how much I have to go backwards? Happens a lot. That's okay though. That's what a brain injury does to you. But this is my only means to make money and try and make sure me and my uncle's home doesn't get taken from us. Okay, there we are. It's easier for me to turn it on its side for this part. Make sure everything's hooked. Your spring gets put right behind there. That's on your trigger here. Okay. And then as you can see, well, shit, neighbors, maybe not. What did I fuck up now? Something has snagged or something, damn it. Yeah, something's fucked up here. Shit. Did I do my fucking throttle lever wrong? No, I did not. Why are you stuck, neighbor? There we are. I just had my trigger sitting in there wrong, I think. Yep, there we go. Okay, now we got it right. Okay. I just had my trigger was catching back here. Okay, because it was a little too low or high or something there. Okay, and then this goes back on here. And our 3 T25s to tighten this down. Alright, there's that. Let's go ahead and get our air filter back in. Okay. Oops. I keep forgetting which way this damn thing goes. Like so, I believe. Yes, that's correct. And then we've got our air filter face here, but this one really needs to go to the other saw. Damn it, saw. Because I had to modify it, just a little bit of it. Because we had to jerry-rig our kill switch because it was damaged. Okay, so that goes. Oh, you know what? I didn't. Damn it, you neighbors are letting me skip shit. I didn't put this baby in. T20. And this was actually missing from this saw, and so I was hoping this saw was going to work right easy because there was a bunch of loose shit. Okay, and now I'll put our air filter back on. Try again. Okay, there we are. Take our air filter thing here. Put that biatch on. If we can get it lined up. Do we have it right? It looks like we do. But the saw wants to tell me no. There we are. Okay. And that is a Phillips or a flat only. So we'll go ahead and put that in with our flathead here. Okay, we'll refuel this up. I did remove my muffler slide. Yes, I did. We'll put a new pickup body on it. Fuel pickup body first. And then we'll refuel it up. I think I might try a different type of fuel filter too. Because both of them have the same one. Probably the original, however. I'm thinking I might want to try something different. I'm so fucking worried about my uncle, you guys. It's driving me crazy. Here's all I got. Our relationship ain't perfect, but we love each other, goddammit. Not perfectly, but we're trying real hard. Okay, there we are. I definitely know this spring needs replaced when we get this running. I do have new spring. But we got to get the saw running first before we waste time with that shit. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to decide what kind of pickup body I want to use. I think this is not correct. The string trimmers. Yeah, I think I want to try one of these. Okay, so slightly different than the stock OEM one, and I do have these, but I just want to try something different and see if that improves our saw's ability to run properly, because right now it certainly doesn't run properly. And I think we'll probably have to open our load jet a little more. Right now we're at like 1.5 turns a piece. Let me stretch this open a little bit. That should be enough, hopefully. It's real tight. I think I got the wrong inside diameter here. No, I certainly didn't. I definitely didn't. It's just real tight. Let me get some press oil. I might have to use the needle nose to stretch this one. We'll find out. My pain is excruciating too. I hate it, but it is what it is. Okay, let's give that a whirl. Put that in there. No, you're not seating properly. Don't you do me dirty, air or fuel filter. Get to the bottom of the tank, damn it. And to make this freaking line just slightly too long. But with the tank full, it shouldn't matter. And if the saw runs right, I'm going to go ahead and cut it short. If not, I'll leave myself a note that it needs to be cut short. So here's this. Let me put some fuel back in this biatch. Okay, there we are. Tighten our cap up good. And I'm disabled, so yes, I'm going to snug this with pliers because my hands are not strong enough to get it tight. There we are. Okay, so that should be enough for us to test the saw again at this point. Still way too much air in the line. A lot less than before though. Okay, neighbors, shall we see? Shall we see if we've done better? Got our carb adjustment screwdriver here just in case we run into the same issue. Full choke. As I leaned out the high jet, it died. It's not doing what it did before, but that's not good. I'm like 3 or 4 turns out. This fucking saw is freaky. I don't know what its issue is. 1. Not getting enough response out of carb adjustment, I feel. I don't see a goddamn auto screw either. So the low jet was pretty much closed. Quarter, half, 3/4, 1. Quarter, half, 3/4, 1. Oh, my throttle's barely moving. That could be a problem. It seems like it's barely moving, but it doesn't go any further. Okay, well, that's a very, there we go. Our throttle wasn't moving right, so let's try again. God damn it, I need to get this pin out of here. Yeah, we've got throttle issues and all kinds of other stuff. So this is the crazy thing. I want this fucking saw done. I want it done, neighbors. 6 fucking months on this nightmare. And it still does not want to fucking live. Neither of them want to fucking live. So that's it, neighbors. Sorry, Ted. Still not done yet. I tried, neighbor. I don't know what else to do. I don't know why half these fucking saws hate me. I'm not a mechanic. How is it that I can fucking build antique saws and build brand new saws and everything else? Half of them work and half of them don't when I go through the same fucking procedures. I don't know, neighbors. Be kind to one another. Everyone's facing a battle. My pain's so overwhelming, I'm gonna go shit in the shower. I'm gonna go sit in the shower and probably cry. Love your fucking neighbors. Until next time.